Greetings, friends and visitors, on this rainy Wednesday afternoon. It is now time for our daily English Flash News edition. As usual, I'm Daniel Cook, your host, and I'm very pleased to present to you the Albanian news in a language that you understand. In today's news, our Prime Minister was in Serbia today, where he held a bilateral meeting with the Prime Minister of China. During the meeting, Prime Minister Edi Rama stressed the importance of Albania's relationship with China. He said that our relations were very important, both in trade and for the economy. He also highlighted how much cooperation between the two countries helps to advance the culture and the education sector. Prime Minister Rama said that more cooperation in agriculture was needed, as well as an increase in Chinese investments in our energy and infrastructure sectors. The Prime Minister of China praised the relations between the two countries. He also expressed his great satisfaction that this is the third time he has been able to meet with the Albanian Prime Minister within the course of this year. On behalf of the Chinese government, the Prime Minister of China expressed the desire to increase the agricultural imports from Albania, as well as to enhance the Chinese investments in energy production and infrastructure development. He feels that this will not only help our country, but also the interconnection of the country with the rest of the Balkans and Eastern Europe. Prime Minister Rama invited the Chinese leader to visit Albania at some point in the near future. Mr. Rama also held a diplomatic meeting with the Serbian Prime Minister, Aleksandar Vučić. Both of these meetings took place in context of the Belgrade summit for the leaders of 16 European governments, as well as the Chinese Prime Minister. Prime Minister Rama praised the ever-growing economic cooperation between Albania and Serbia. He stressed the importance of extending this cooperation to the field of regional infrastructure development. For the second time in a single month, Prime Minister Rama asked his Serbian counterpart to take greater care of the Albanians in the Preševa Valley. Prime Minister Rama posted on his Twitter account about his meeting with Vučić. He wrote, "I had a meeting with the Prime Minister Vučić to increase the cooperation between us and to increase the care for the Preševa Valley Albanians." The two prime ministers also signed a mutual agreement on the recognition of driver's licenses between the two states. Just about 1 month ago, the decision was made to dismiss the second in command of the High Council of Justice, together with one additional member. The former High Council member, Elvis Cefa, claims that this decision was forced by the majority and that it was completely lawless. The Constitutional Court has now reviewed this issue after an appeal by the Democratic Party. After some deliberation, they've ruled that Article 4 of the Law on Organization and Functioning of the High Council of Justice is in fact in violation of the Constitution. This law contained the framework for the Parliament's dismissal of 2 of the members of the High Council of Justice. Now it is the responsibility of the Assembly to act on this ruling by the Constitutional Court. For Elvis Cefa, the Court's response to the opposition request should be interpreted as an attempt to return the 2 dismissed members to their duties. The 2 men who were directly affected by this law, Elvis Cefa and Lulzim Lecaj, submitted a complaint to the Administrative Court about their removal. They hoped that a ruling would be given by the Constitutional Court in their favor, and that it would be followed up by all the institutions, particularly the Parliament. It seems that the Constitutional Court has indeed ruled in their favor, but it remains to be seen whether the Parliament will honor this ruling. The Ministry of Finance has requested the removal of a regulation that states that Parliament must approve all of the state debts. The members of the Commission of Economy and Finance are in strong opposition to this plan. They feel that the regulation is a good one and that it should remain in place. In fact, the approval of Parliament is a condition that is defined by the Constitution of the country, and this is a strong argument for the Commission of Economy. The Ministry of Finance, however, argues that by removing this regulation, the state loans can benefit from more favorable interest rates. Borrowing without the approval of the Parliament has sparked a great deal of debate in the Commission of Economy and Finance. The head of the commission, Erion Bratze, rejected the request of the Minister of Finance. According to him, the amendments carry a double standard in respect to the public debt. However, the Minister of Finance has promised not to change the predetermined level of public debt that is allowed. Yet another debate took place in the Commission over what interest rates should be adopted. Yesterday, the Minister of Social Welfare made the announcement that he intends to submit a draft law to the Assembly to make possible the opening of the communist documents. The minister said that the German model would be used for this process, as it was a model that would keep the process from becoming political. However, one Democratic MP has responded that this is not needed. Masila Doda, who was the initiator of the original draft law that would allow the opening of the files from the communist regime, gave a reply today to Minister Erion Veliai. According to the Democratic MP, a second draft law is not necessary, as they have already submitted a sufficient draft law to the Assembly. Meanwhile, the German ambassador himself called the politicians to stay away from the process, as it is a process for the civil society and not for politics. According to the Interior Minister, blood feud is no longer the primary reason that is being given by asylum seekers. He says that falsified sexual abuse is now the primary declaration of those who are seeking asylum in other countries. Interior Minister Saimir Tahiri said that out of 97 asylum seekers in England, only 4 had true claims, and the rest are falsified. The minister gave a stern warning for parents who seek to abuse the asylum policies of other countries. He says that if parents visit the European countries and leave their minor children behind illegally, the parents will face prosecution and probably prison time. U.S. Ambassador Alexander Arvizu said that justice authorities should work together to bring these people before the law. Mr. Arvizu said that the identification of abuse victims should be improved. He also thinks that the state should help the non-governmental organizations because they are in difficult financial situations. He said, "The government should redouble its attempts and bring traffickers to justice, and law enforcement will be the key to this. We hope to see more collaboration between investigators, prosecutors, and the judiciary to increase the number of convictions for the crime of trafficking. We hope to see a greater number of victims identified and helped. The funding for the non-government organizations that help the victims of trafficking should also be increased, because many of them are on the verge of shutting down." On her part, the EU ambassador said that despite the measures that have been taken, Albania remains a primary source of human trafficking. To prevent trafficking, the Interior Ministry has drafted a 3-year strategy that involves 22 institutions, and this is intended to increase the law enforcement against this crime and increase financial support for the victims. According to the Central Election Commission, the upcoming local elections require a greater level of commitment from some of the country's institutions. The spokeswoman of this institution made this appeal. The CEC seeks to boost the spirit of cooperation and accountability by all actors that play a role in the preparation for the electoral process. Referring to the central institutions, ministries, local government, municipalities, and prefectures across the country, spokeswoman Hoja said that the responsibility still belongs to the leaders of these institutions. However, for the coalition of local observers, the CEC itself is the fundamental problem in this process. Gerta Mehta, who was invited to speak for Aura News, gave a warning that the political parties need to hurry up. Here, the political realm has no time to lose to make the changes in the electoral code, she said. From the studio of Aura News, the coalition of local observers conveyed their concern that the political sector is behind in this process. A person's birthday is supposed to be a day where one's friends give you gifts, But for one Albanian singer, it was a day for delivering gifts to Albanian orphans. The Albanian singer Redon Makashi chose to spend his birthday delivering presents to the children of a local orphanage here in Tirana. In response, the children of the orphanage made a gift of their own for the singer. Makashi, however, feels that the happiness of the orphans on this day was the best gift that he could have received. That's all the news we have for you this evening. We thank you for watching. Please stay warm and dry tonight, and join us again tomorrow for more Albanian news in English, right here on Aura News. Thank you, and good night.